Here we are at the depths of this area of Mementos, and this time I'm going with the Seven Sisters High outfits, which should be, I just noticed how many flowers we have, should be Persona 2, to sort of go through the games in semi-reverse order. And I'm going with the party that I like to call Team Beat 'em Up. We've basically got 2 physical brawlers and an Aikido user. And now the way is open into a new area of Mementos for real this time. I mean, I guess slightly more people believe in us. So, let's get down there. And if you don't like this version of the Mementos theme, don't worry. One of the big improvements Royal made to this place, the music actually changes the further in you go, and also the aesthetic changes. Just like Tartarus in Persona 3. I mean, most subways don't go all the way to the center of the earth, but anyway. Welcome to Chemdah. Chemdah comes from the Hebrew word meaning desire. It's generally considered the path of greed. In Japanese, this place is called Temperance Robbing Path. Oh, I don't actually have you recruited yet. Yeah, and thanks to Shadow Calculus, we can see Sledgehammer and the Tin Clasp item drop here. I have completely forgotten what you're weak to, if anything. I want to say that it's wind, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
Also, we have the, I think this is the Innocent Sin battle theme? I want to say it's the Innocent Sin battle theme, at least. It's pretty cool, but here's the interesting thing about this. I've listened to both the PSP and the original, and the original PS1 version of the Persona 2 battle theme, and this version doesn't actually sound like either of them to me. I could be horribly wrong about this, but to me it's possible that this could be a new remix, which if that's true would be really cool. Okay, let's see if I have a, well, I definitely have a wind item.
Using this.
Oh wow, exact opposite of weak to that.
The enemy is winning, but wind won't do much to it.
Maybe it's electricity then.
Time to use it.
No, but I got shock.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, victory.
The Persona 2 victory theme to me sounds very mainline Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay.
You're not too tired after that, are you? Don't fall behind.
Oh wow, I did so badly in that fight that Morgana's scolding me. Okay, so we have the, you know what, maybe we should go for the target. If I check the map, how many stamps are there? Oh, there's only 10 stamps, that's not too bad. In the later areas of Mementos, there's like 40 or even more, so I'm really dreading getting to those. Because yes, this will be a 100% stamps playthrough. So who's this?
Oh.
Ah, the shop manager, so I don't need to rearrange my party to maintain canon with the Daybreakers. His customer service smile. I love that.
Huh?
So I believe this guy doesn't actually have a weakness. So technical's probably the way to go. You know, honestly, the idea of a villainous shopkeeper should be explored more. I feel like that'd be pretty fun. I mean, I guess technically Spamton in Deltarune, sort of.
What?
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of part-time employees get treated this way. You're all criminals. I'll show you that I'm not a criminal by murdering you. Anyway. So this guy manifests as Setanta, which is, Setanta's always been a cool design to me.
The opponent is strong. Don't do it.
So yeah, he actually hasn't said anything just yet, but let's see if he's vulnerable to forget.
Okay.
He is good.
Let's go.
I think he just said, what was the name of my lord? So, the thing that I always found really strange about this guy, and it's something that because I actually uploaded a lot of the, like, my first attempts of all of the Mementos mini-bosses when I first played this game in the vanilla version. It was something that I said back then, but I always found it very weird that this guy used the, like the angel voice type. I'm not really sure why. Had a feeling I'd get the shock there.
Knock down, Queen. You have them on the rope. Right now.
But yeah, people said back then that maybe, I don't know, he just thinks of himself as a god in his store or something like that, and that he thinks his word is divine law or something. But yeah, like, this guy is using all of those, I still don't know if it's hear and obey the word of the Lord, or fear and obey. I think I actually said this earlier. I was just remembering the whole thing about, you know, knowing SMT, it's probably fear, but I think I said that exact same, used that exact same wording earlier.
That's a new skill. Let's try it out.
Oh, we'll definitely try that out later. Eventually, Mementos, because there's a pretty infamous Mementos boss who likes to spam Brainwash. No, you're not. Oh, okay, I have to choose this option. Oh, yeah, so you're only just realizing that? I mean, at the same time, though, like, I do feel like sometimes when you get high up in the managerial chain, it can be quite easy to just kind of view your employees more as numbers than as actual people. And weirdly, this guy's treasure is a book. Yes, he was spending everything on those sweets.
All right.
That book, Chinese Sweets, unlocks a new hangout spot, but you can also get it via other means. And if you already have access to the hangout spot, you'll be able to read Chinese Sweets for free. A little further, okay then. Hi there. Oh, great, we got a free upon Datara, so yeah, sometimes you don't even need to negotiate. Thing is, though, if I find a Apsaras, okay, like, as you can see, this is the, hi there, alarm. Yeah, sometimes it comes back pretty quickly. But these are the enemies from Madarame's palace, and, McCoy, that's not terrible. I would kind of like to find an encounter with Copper Tengus, though, because if you negotiate with Copper Tengus, they can sometimes drop, okay, Waffle there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Copper Tengus will be showing up just late. They're a little... just later. Just now, I mean. They're a little of a later enemy in Madarame's palace.
You can hear a bunch of voices in the wind. Stop that! I don't want to think about it.
Oh, we've read ghost stories. You'll have to think about it. Does that cancel the pursuit? Looks like it does. But yeah, I'll have to scour each floor because I want those stamps.
There's a treasure
Yeah, in
chest.
general, they're either behind cracked walls or at the exit. Dizzy Vial's not bad, though. Another Dizzy Vial.
I can see it.
So yeah, the reason why I want to encounter a Copper Tengu is that negotiating with them will give you the item. I think I might even be able to... Oh, nope, nope, you are not insta-killable.
So bumpy. I can...
Oh, I just interrupted one of Morgana's by far biggest, awkward Arn moments. Yeah. If you pause the video, you would see exactly what he said. But yeah, maybe it's a good thing I'm not drawing attention to it. But, this reminds me about how, someone in the comments was actually keeping a Morgana simping for Arn count, and I joked that, that Gun with the Wind should count as 100, and, he actually took me up on that offer, so now every Gun with the Wind now counts as 100 to that counter. But yeah, so negotiating with Copper Tengu gives you the skill card for single target rage. There is no other way to get this. Like, not itemization, oh hi there, not anything else. The only way to obtain that is via negotiating with Copper Tengu, and it's incredibly rare. So I highly doubt I'll get it, but like, you can explore. Oh, it's only region. That's interesting. I thought it would be the next one, but oh no, of course, because Regent was Madarame's palace. So this is still Madarame's palace, yeah, because Kamoshida's palace didn't have a treasure demon, of course. Gotta remember that. Yeah, I did say back then that every palace has one. I meant every palace beyond Madarame's.
They were nothing.
I hope it's not too boring, me just running around insta-killing everything, but that's kind of what you do here. I want to try and avoid getting too over-leveled, and that's why I'm not raising, like, experience with Jose. Speaking of which, though, where is Jose? He hasn't shown up this entire Mementos run, and that's kind of weird. He should be appearing at some point. I'm going to need to dump my flowers eventually.
Lately it's felt like someone's been staring at me in class.
During class specifically? Huh, then that's not me.
I love how Yusuke just casually admits that he'd probably stare at her in any other circumstances. Some people actually do ship Arn and Yusuke. I'm not really... Like, okay, so in the previous part, people were saying that, like, we were giving different opinions on, you know, what I said about the whole Yusuke romance thing, and some people say that they see Yusuke as aromantic, and or asexual, and honestly, I can get by that.
Our range of tactics is expanded.
It's sort of the... Oh, this is just a giant plus shape. That's really... I don't think I've seen a Mementos for like this before. But, the weird thing is that in my headcanon, I feel like, to me, Yusuke is either ace or pansexual. And I know that that sounds like those are opposites, but, yeah, it just feels like he's either one of those to me. But honestly, I feel like, you know, whatever, you know, sexuality Yusuke is doesn't really matter. He's still Yusuke. Okay, now, this thing right here, Fair Adjustment Machine.
Focus.
It's glowing yellow in third eye. I did not know this for the longest time until I just randomly stumbled upon this in one of my playthroughs, but... yes, that gives you SP items. I don't know how many people know that, like, I just... yeah, it wasn't until I was doing a test run, like, even quite late into my test playthrough, I was just going, huh, wait, you can examine these? And then I just got a whole bunch of SP items. They're not very common,
Chest spotted. Let's open it.
but you will want to look out for them when you do see them. An extra revival bead is great. Okay, you know what? I'll try and use one lockpick here. I don't like wasting lockpicks on randomized Mementos chests rather than one-time palace chests, but just as a preview, oh, bead, that's good. Not the bead chain, that would replace one of those that I gave up to Kaneshiro. Oh, okay, then 2 revival beads in one room, that's pretty cool. Definitely take that. This is the first time we've been to the palace since getting insta-kill, so it kind of makes sense to go nuts with it. But, like, there's really not... like, if I was getting into encounters here, I probably would be cutting them out anyway, because they're stuff we've seen before. This thing's blue, though. I know I got Nue. Yeah, for a second I was like, oh, I never got Nue, and then I was like, oh, wait, no, of course I did. I still like I bought Innocent Sin on my PlayStation, my PSTV, that's the word. I was about to say Vita, and then I realized I didn't have a Vita. I realized I didn't have a Vita. The cartoonist never gave me a Vita.
A spectacular victory.
Yeah, I haven't actually played it yet.
Okay.
And I probably need to, because one day I might do Persona 1 and 2. They're very different to 3, 4, and 5, but they still deserve to be acknowledged as part of the series. Yeah, people go on a lot of debates, though, as to whether they're still canon. I know they're definitely canon to Persona 3, but, there is something in this game that points to them still being canon to the timeline now, but that's not until way later, and I would rather not go on that tangent just yet, because I actually had a different Mementos tangent of the week, prepared for this time. Also, how rich are we, by the way? Oh boy, we've recouped everything we lost from Chihaya and then some. So yeah, this is why Confusion, like the whole Confusion, you know, Mementos mini-boss trick being nerfed.
Hungry. I want something sweet.
Dessert's like your staple food, huh? You're gonna get fat, you know.
For some reason, I remember. Yo, hi there. See, sometimes you gotta keep third eye up, otherwise you might not realize that enemies are not within insta-kill range. But yeah, I remember Ryuji's tone there being a lot, I don't know, different. Like, you're gonna get fat, you know. That's how I remember it being. But anyway, haven't been surrounded in forever. But let's just take these guys out, hopefully. Okay, I actually missed one of them. I feel like I'm going through a little bit too much SP here. I do have a lot of... You are an incredibly stubborn Omaraki. Nope, and he's afraid. Okay, then. Yay, this. What? Okay, then. Onmaraki is laughing. I've never seen that happen. Like, what the heck is this? This Onmaraki somehow thinks that it's Neo from Xenoblade 3. Or Morag from 2.
Okay.
I have never had anything like that happen before. I am very, very bemused. And you know what? Let's just get rid of this rock salt. I don't like it being in my inventory. Okay, who we got this time? Let me just, you know, get the bizarre taste of that battle out of my mouth. Okay, I think I know who this is. I could be wrong, though. Is this the guy?
Okay.
Don't think so. No, that's the Abuser. Okay, I had a feeling it was either the Abuser or the Burglar Ring guy, and I was thinking the Burglar Ring guy. So, okay, this guy, for ending the boyfriend's abuse, he is weak to Sai. Okay, so only Joker can do that. But you know what? Let's go ahead and, I think Arn has a pretty personal stake in all this. So let's bring Arn, Makoto, and, let's just keep Yusuke. I accidentally put in Morgana instead of Arn. Right, whoops. Oh well. I know this feels like Captain Obvious, but it is kind of satisfying to tell him this. There's really nothing else to say about this guy other than he's awful, so let's get it over with. Like, I am at least glad this game is, like, I mean, admittedly through very weird, fantastical means, but, like, domestic violence is definitely an issue in Japan, because a lot of the time, it does kind of suffer from that same issue that people had during the whole Kamoshida arc, which is that sort of, both the Shikata Nai and also that whole mentality of it being rude to intervene in other people's problems. And also it being rude to bother other people with your personal problems. I feel like that often means that many victims of domestic violence just don't speak out. I forgot you're not Ryuji, so Rising Slash is at the top of your skill set rather than the bottom. I had a feeling you resisted physical. I mean, it sort of makes sense given the kind of person this guy is. But you know what? Yeah, let's just give him amnesia, which also means I can't attack him because it would get rid of that. Yeah, as you'd expect, this guy is pretty simple. He just tries to buff his own attack power and use hard-hitting, low-accuracy physical attacks. It definitely fits. He's got a decent, like, amount of defense on him, though. I'm not getting those freezes. But as long as I keep this up, and, like, Forget is a very, very cheap skill, and Makoto has the biggest SP pool in the game, so I'm basically set here. There's nothing much it can really do to me. Most of the Mementos mini-bosses aren't that bad, except one of them! I'm just gonna try and freeze you again. Can we get the free? There we go, finally. Okay, then. Okay, kind of fitting that we beat him by punching him. Oh, I love it when that happens.
All right.
It gets even better once we get all the party members. I won't spoil exactly how many party members there are, but those get very, very fun when you have all of them. So medium physical damage to all foes, low chance of sleep. That's pretty decent since sleep can technically off of physical attacks. I believe he got a different status ailment in the vanilla game. It might have been confusion, which, yeah, I guess this is better since it synergizes with him being a physical attacker more. No, you are not. Yeah, we didn't even try and reason with him that time. We're just like, yeah, just go on and have your change of heart, see if we care. But with that, we've, well, hopefully won our bet. We'll have to go back to the fortune teller and see if we've successfully changed fates.
All right.
2 targets left. Actually 3, technically, because one of them is 2 targets in one. But let's go ahead and equip you with the, that's got worse accuracy, but medium sleep is kind of nice. It feels awful equipping Ryuji with that, given that it represents domestic abuse, but, I mean, it's a better weapon, so, yeah. Okay, next area. Right, you know what, I think I'll actually just head down and I'll do the stamp cleanup later. Still haven't hit a, safe room.
Then...
I was about to say checkpoint, but I mean, I guess they kind of are checkpoints. So I suppose while we're at it, I remembered to actually check them that time, and not blindly dash into them. Oh, okay, we've got this. I was about to go on my Mementos tangent, but I can't, because... this is one of 2 things. Now, okay, yeah, it's definitely the burglary guy. I was hoping it would be him.
Oh.
Kazuya Makigami's shadow. I love the power glove. It's so bad.
Yes.
Yes, Yusuke agrees. I've never really seen that movie or anything, but, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of domestic abuses in Mementos. So it does feel like the game is sort of trying to make a point about that. But anyway, now, Yusuke was in the Daybreakers OVA. Makoto was not, so I'm going to take her out of the party. And to make up for Arn not being in the last one, let's bring Arn to this. I suppose Morgana can keep being part of this. So this guy actually does have minions. And the only reason he does is because he did in the OVA. Where is it? Yeah, Phantom Thieves versus Burglary. He's weak to Curse, though, which means I'm gonna have to raise Joker's SP again. Okay, here we go. You're just gonna say, I'm not in the wrong and not even elaborate. Well, I mean, if you look at us, we're the same, and we don't go around just robbing cafes and abusing our relatives.
I'll show you.
I need to watch the OVA again, because I feel like he made the same argument there. Like, the thing about that OVA is that it is, as I said before, designed as an introduction to the Phantom Thieves and their methodology. You are actually meant to watch it before you play the game, and I feel like that's why they gave this guy that whole speech. But yeah, he summons Onmaraki and Oni just like he does in the OVA. I'm not sure if they have the same weaknesses they do in, like, as shadows, but yeah, that's Shadow Makigami, who
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything.
manifests as a persona we haven't actually seen before, and it was not in Persona 3 or 4, so I'll wait until we get to it to talk about it, because it doesn't actually show up until much later on. Okay then. Well, I mean, if I don't know your weakness, I can try and at least lucky punch you in the face. There we go.
It's almost scary how good I am.
And let's go for the Rising Slash versus the Sleeping Guy. Okay, good, got the knockdown. And now on to Joker.
On to the second person.
We're on a 3 baton pass chain now, and please tell me somebody here has Curse. You have Curse, that's good. You have Mark Curse. But you have Mighty Gaze, so that'll actually be buffed. So I probably should go for you. Unless somebody here repels Curse. Oh, wow, really good damage there. I kind of like how just casually this guy's just lying there like that. Looks so smug and superior, but we'll show him. If this ends it, that'd be kind of sad. It did. Okay, then. I do need to watch the OVA again, because I think they might have actually canonically ended it with an all-out attack there. Oh, I forgot to mention before, but part-time job, full-time hell is required to progress Mishima's Confidant, so it's a good thing that we completed that one. Oh, the song playing right now, by the way, is Sunset Bridge, which I've referred to earlier. This is also something that won't make sense unless you watch the OVA. Yeah, I'm almost like, honestly, because I feel like, so Persona 5 is a game that has been covered quite a lot on YouTube and is very popular, but I don't see a lot of people who cover it talking about the OVA. In fact, I feel like a lot of people who play this game don't even know the Daybreakers exists, or that it is, again, intended to be watched before playing the game. And I'm pretty sure that, like, and that means that most people who play the game will be very confused at this side quest and like, wait, what does this even mean? Like the whole, you know, throw away or burn what's inside the drawer. This makes more sense if you've seen the OVA. It's the resolution to this whole plot line. They do kind of briefly go over it in a text message conversation, but it's better in the OVA. And in a sense, it kind of helps to show the Phantom Thieves helping people in need. And yeah, he goes to Yusuke's school, and that's why, that's also why Yusuke's here and part of the whole OVA thing. Like honestly, I haven't seen it in a while. In fact, I haven't seen it since it was originally released. I watched it, like, kind of live when it first debuted. Can't remember how exactly, but that's what I did. I also did that with Pokemon Origins back in the day, so I was actually totally blind on the Mega Charizard X reveal, but that's a completely different tangent. Yeah, I need to watch it again and see how I evaluate it, because a lot of people say, oh, it's just got all the flaws of the regular Persona 5 anime, and that it's, you know, got bad animations and, you know, all that other... Speaking of crap, hi there.
Be careful. Go down.
Oh right, you're the one who got that really good skill change. That second tier single target light, bless, I make that mistake all the time. Oh, hi there. As well as Medea Rahan. Oh, I think we can take this.
This is my other self.
Does that count as a Morgana on moment? I don't know.
Slice you to pieces. And the curtain falls.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, what I was saying about that OVA, like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the animations are bad. It also kind of does something that a lot of people find annoying about the actual P5 anime, in that it sort of gives Akechi extra screen time at a point where he didn't appear in the game. But I don't think it's honestly that bad as far as, like, quote-unquote Akechi quota, as people say. It made sense for Akechi to show up in the capacity he did, in the way he did in that OVA, and it wasn't, like, nearly as much as the... Again, it's funny. I know that for Persona, like, when I did my Persona 4 playthrough, I watched the entire anime to sort of prepare for it and talk about the anime during the playthrough, and I probably should do that with the Persona 5 anime. The problem is, I really like the Persona 4 anime. It's like my favorite,
They were nothing.
Is it my favorite video game adaptation of all time? It probably is a bit presumptuous to say that, but it might be. Like, honestly, it's not perfect, but I really like it as an adaptation. Whereas I have not heard good things about the Persona 5 animation. I've watched a lot of compilations of funny moments, mostly from Yuji and Xander Mobus's Joker, but I've just not really... Yeah, I've heard not good things about the P5 anime, and You know, I was going to go on a different tangent, but I already kind of covered this during Persona 4 as well. But I just had a thought. Instead of going on the tangent that I planned to go on in this part, I might save that for a different Mementos episode, and instead talk about here.
Driving a car in the subway isn't something you get to do every day.
Well, no trains are gonna come. Right? We're safe, yeah?
Why the Persona 5 anime was not well received and the Persona 4 anime was, despite having a lot of similarities.
Shadow spotted.
Oh, that's a green, dangerous shadow. But anyway, yeah, let's go down to a lower area. We do we have a rest spot. Okay, I suppose I can talk more in here. Also, Morgana's Trish outfit looks really silly. I'm not even sure what Trish does in those in the Persona 2 and Persona 1 apparently, since the Persona 1 outfits in this game also come with a Trish costume. Again, I'll definitely need to play more of that, but I'll consult the team and then I'll go back to where is the consult? Come on, there we go.
Well,
like especially that heart tattoo on the side of his cheek.
May I get a word in?
Okay, this is a good conversation to have. Or have we had this one before? Yeah, personas are tamed shadows. Something, like, did we get this conversation before? I'm not sure.
wait.
Yeah, that was actually not Shadow Arn. That was just the perverted, version of Arn from Kamoshida. And yeah, so during the whole speeches about how do you accept my power, or have you chosen to tread the path of strife, that is them accepting their shadows. And in the cases of the Persona 5 party, the shadows were their suppressed sense of rebellion and their desire for payback against their abusers.
What are your thoughts?
Actually, I don't think
Shall
we
we
saw
go?
this conversation before. So as we keep going, I can say, really the main reason why I think that the P5 anime had issues compared to the P4 anime can be summed up when it comes to the part count of my Let's Plays. So, as you can probably tell, this should be like part 71, and I'm only just barely past the third arc out of... I probably shouldn't spoil it, but there's a lot of arcs, because there's like one arc per month, and this game covers most of the rest of the year from this point on. So yeah, we're already a little over a third of the way into the game and already 71 parts in. Now, Persona 4, by this point, I was already like at least 5 arcs into Persona 4 by this point.
Inspiration is within reach. How do we increase the speed?
Ouch! Don't kick at my stomach!
Mo's accelerator is not located there.
A treasure chest!
And the reason why I think that isn't so much that Persona 4 is a shorter game, and more that Persona 4's pacing is kind of weird. Persona 4 is a game where almost all of the plot happens at the very beginning and the very end. Persona 5, meanwhile, has a lot more cutscenes, also a lot more things to do at night. I think that's part of why this playthrough has gone on longer than has had more parts in it. Because every part's been packed with a little bit more information than and stuff to do than Persona 4, because again, there's way less to do at night in 4. But yeah, there's a lot more cutscenes, the plot moves at a much faster
Didn't
pace.
spread on the internet. Nobody would have believed this Phantom Thief stuff.
You're right. All this stealing people's hearts stuff would normally sound pretty supernatural.
Getting interrupted by Memento skits a lot, but you get those flash forwards with Sire. Basically, there's always like at least something happening in the story at any given time. And also the dungeons are much bigger, more elaborate, and also the Confidant characters, like the optional social characters, are almost all plot relevant in Persona 5. So in a sense, Persona 4's anime could afford to skip and compress things without really diluting the story very much. It manages to condense pretty much everything that it needs to. Oh, I almost got the ambush there. Not quite though. No, I'm an Ozume, hi there.
But be careful.
I've got an absorption as well. It manages to condense everything that it needs to into 26 episodes. And I honestly think, like, even then, like, I think Persona 4 has a decent, like, it does have a problem where the first half of the anime is basically, like, all plot, and then the second half of the Persona 4 anime is very much, has a lot of, I wouldn't say filler, but more like downtime episodes, because the summer vacation ones are amazing. Whereas the Persona 5's anime is kind of awkward, so basically, they also only had 26 episodes, but they kind of had to cover every single palace arc in 2 or 3 episodes, and they had to adapt the party member Confidants as well. It's kind of ridiculous just how much they had to crunch in the Persona 5 anime.
Okay.
So to put things in perspective, and about where we are in Persona 5 story, guess what episode the 26 episode anime was up to? Episode 12. So a little bit less than halfway into the anime, and we're not even halfway into the game yet. So the first 4 episodes were the Kamoshida arc. Episode 5 is naming the Phantom Thieves at the restaurant. Episodes 6, 7, and 8 are basically the Madarame arc. Episode 9 is Operation Maidwatch. Yep, of course, they devoted an entire episode to Operation Maidwatch when the pacing of the anime was already bad as is. Episodes 10, 11, and 12 are the Kaneshiro arc. And yeah, we're pretty much in episode 13 right now. So that is exactly halfway through, and not even halfway through the game's story. And guess what? In 26 episodes, they didn't even finish the game's story. They had to do the final few dungeons and final boss fights all over the course of, I think, 1 or 2 OVAs. Yeah, it's basically a case of Persona 4, like, the TLDR version is, Persona 4 had so many big stretches of filler in the game itself, they could easily condense it down to 26 episodes without losing much. Persona 5 is the exact opposite. But now, the most satisfying Mementos target in the game to take down.
Okay.
Now, I would very much like to use Ryuji and Ann here, because this is a Shujin problem, but Yusuke, I feel like Yusuke would sympathize with, their son who passed away, so I'm going to use Yusuke for this too. Let's go, I'll use a couple of Medeas, and let's do this. So, of the Takases, one of them is weak to fire, and the other is weak to Sai, so as long as you have Ann here, you're usually fine. So now we see these guys' true selves, what they really are.
You little twit!
Funny you should call us elitists. And I think it's kind of hilarious they turn into Oberon and Titania, who are also a couple that screw over other people when it comes to their own, like, relationship problems. Like, these two I don't think really have any relationship troubles. They're both, you know, awful and thus made for each other. But, like, you know, the way that Oberon and Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream basically just drag other people and just... they mess with other people's lives just to sort of satisfy themselves. It makes sense. So we have Shadow Mrs. Takasai and Shadow Mr. Takasai. And, yes, Mrs., I believe, is weak to fire, so let's go. So, I said before that the confusion nerf isn't really a huge deal because you can get way more money just by running around insta-killing things with Jose's multipliers on. The one time I would disagree with that is in this fight. And that's because it was always one of the most satisfying things in all of Persona 5 to confuse the Takasais and extort them out of millions and millions of yen. They dropped some of the most yen in any Mementos mini-boss as well. Like, it was completely insane how much these dropped, so it was just so cathartic to do that, and it's just kind of unfortunate you can't do that now. I've tried using ailments on them. They don't really drop very much money anymore, so it kind of sucks. Well, Titania's already down. Oberon's up next, though. He does use some pretty powerful Zeo skills, though. Let me see if I can get Forget with Memory Blow. I doubt it will work. Nope, didn't work. Okay, man. Yeah, there's Mazionga. So, yeah, having Morgana here is probably bad.
Fox got shocked. He can't move. Let's do this. How about this?
Actually kind of fitting to put Oberon to sleep, too. Nah, you deserve a bigger hit. Yeah, let's sledgehammer you.
They're all knocked down. That was incredible.
And no, you don't get the decency of an all-out attack. You're gonna get something even more painful. Unfortunately, I can't do it with Yusuke because he's shocked, but I can do this.
Eat this.
Oh, that was less damage than I hoped for. If there's anybody that I wish I could do over 1,000 damage to, it's these. But didn't happen. Still, though, we got almost 17,000 yen out of them. Unfortunately, they've extorted our teacher out of much more than that. Well, yeah, but it's only because you are awful.
I wish this would stop.
Still doesn't justify it, especially like, where does Kawakami play in all of this? Also, yeah, they're all saying, oh yeah, we're doing this to get payback for what you did to our son. But no, they actually wanted their son to suffer in the first place. Yeah, these are some of the few people that just Joker has the option to outright tell them they're terrible. I should call Kawakami to my room. Don't let people take that statement out of context, please. But yeah, with that, we are able to progress Kawakami's Confidant further. There's no more targets, but let's keep going. So that was a weapon for Arn. High Despair. Okay, yeah, this is one of these kind of interesting weapons. Very, very low power, but a very high chance of an ailment. High Despair is pretty nice, although the description of this is pretty horrifying. I don't really use Arn's physical attacks for damage much anyway, so it's maybe not a bad choice here. But yeah, Despair makes it so that enemies can't do anything, lose SP every turn, and at the end of, I think, 3 turns, they just die. Despair is also kind of infamous in this game for a certain reason that I won't be able to talk about it until much later, but it does involve Mementos. But I will say there's a boss, like a main story boss coming up that uses a full party Despair attack. And that is, I'm missing 1 stamp. I'm gonna have to keep going through some of the floors until I get that 1 stamp. Sometimes you miss them. They do randomly show up based on how the floors are generated. Oh, thanks. I was needing you to show up. Yeah. That boss uses Despair, and if the entire party gets hit with Despair at once, it's basically a game over, so Makoto having some form of Despair resistance and using the, like, Energy Shower to... The Energy Shower, but yeah, no, using her skill to cure Despair, that's really good. That fight. Oh, didn't even need to break a wall for that one, it just showed up on its own. So with that, we've completed this floor's stamps, and Jose showed up at the same time, which is perfect, so now I just need to find him. It's all the way down there, huh?
I can see it. Wonder if there's a shadow the size of a giant squid.
No matter the size, there must be a weakness. Aha! We could aim for the eyes.
I mean, they do have eyes the size of beach balls. So yeah, here's I also just noticed that if you look very closely here, you'll see that the accessories black has a black box around it that's a darker black than the text box. That's cool.
Hey, mister.
But this is one of the reasons why I wanted to see Jose, because this upgrades the Crystal of Gluttony into the Ring of Gluttony.
Good.
And we'll see what that does in a moment.
Oh.
And Jose has some new items to trade, but first let's cash in our 10 points of stamps. So yeah, I'm gonna go for, hang on a minute, I'm gonna go for, I can spend all 10 of them on items. Actually, let's do this. You don't need to see the cutscene of him pounding the ground, again. And he now sells blank cards. Though I have 13 of those, that's more than enough for now. He also sells black kogatana, model gun, and black robe. And I do want these. Unfortunately, he only sells one per appearance in Mementos, so I'll take all of those. He also sells incense now. Confuse vial is, I guess, kind of nice, but yeah, the L vials, they inflict, like, statuses on all foes. I generally prefer the single target ones, though. I'll take one of those. I'll just barely not enough for another, but I can grab that, and then I don't really have many flowers left. So, thanks for the trades, Jose. Hope those flowers are of interest to you. There's actually apparently an unused cutscene of Jose, okay, Morgana doesn't have the Ring of Gluttony, of Jose in the real world trying to eat the flowers in Rafflesia.
I can feel it.
But okay, I'm gonna get into a fight with this thing just to maybe show what the Ring of Gluttony does.
Now's our chance to strike.
And in order to do that, I'm gonna try and buff Morgana. Or maybe even if I'm baton passing to him, it'll show it. Yeah, so if you look closely, you'll see that Repel is highlighted in both cyan and in purple. That's because the Ring of Gluttony gives an innate Tetrakarn and Makarakarn upon starting a battle. Which is really awesome, and I like putting it on Morgana because Morgana's very squishy, so this gives Morgana basically a one-use lifeline against damage, and that's good for a healer. Though it works on pretty much anyone squishy. You can also give it to Joker to give them, like, essentially, like, invincibility to anything but Almighty at the start of a battle. Might even be better in some context than removing weaknesses. I just like having the Ring of Vanity on him for convenience sake, but in a lot of cases, objectively, Ring of Gluttony is better. Also, I didn't even show at the same time, the Ring of Gluttony also gives access to Vault Guardian. Vault Guardian is just Marakukaja but cheaper. But I suppose I can show it in this fight. Oh, hi there, Shikioji. Yeah, increases defense for all allies for 3 turns. Again, completely identical to Marakukaja, but it is cheaper. And that's kind of all that matters. It does have a unique animation as well. It's the same vault that Kaneshiro used when he summoned his minions. Its animation is a little excessively long though, but that's really the only downside.
Someone finish it.
Aha, I would hope you get frozen there.
An enemy's frozen. Let's shatter it in one strike.
Because that means I can do this.
Rabbit snap.
No immunity for you.
Great, huh? Yeah.
Also, yeah, I really like technical boosting skills on physically oriented personas.
Keep it up.
So yeah, let's go down to a lower area, and from here we'll be able to head back to the start. And this has been a longer part, but, well, yeah, earlier when I said, oh, I probably won't be able to cover all of an area in one part from now on, I was wrong. I could cover this whole area in one long part. and we're gonna go back and just make use of that alarm to maybe fuse some things. Now, I'm probably gonna grab some personas that I need off camera, because there's actually quite a lot of personas that I need before the next dungeon visit, which will not be until the next palace. So what I need is Lovers, Faith, Temperance, Star, Chariot, Justice, and Priestess. Yep, that's a lot of arcanas. Oh, and I've actually completed more of the compendium too. Yeah, I know it's officially called the Inmate Registry in this game, but I just call it the compendium because it's easier to say. So yeah, we get a discount on the compendium now, since we've, got more of it.
Wish to register.
Yeah, here I don't actually want to do a register all, because the McCoy I have in the compendium is better than the one I currently have. Oh, I actually do need Clotho. And I'd probably rather give up Waffle.
With this? Choose which skills to inherit.
No Arcana Burst from this.
I cannot expect any new...
But I need it anyway because, like, you don't actually strictly need a Fortune Arcana persona for the start of the Fortune Confidant, the first few ranks, but I will need this eventually, and this is the lowest level one, so it won't be the cheapest possible, but that's the thing, because something regarding, okay, I'm fine with Mahama changing. Okay, they just straight up upgraded, nice. But yeah, sometimes for the lowest level personas of a particular arcana, you want to keep them cheap, and so it's better to not fuse them during an alarm and just have them with the minimum possible number of skills. But yeah, it's not the end of the world.
This is its power.
Well, every single thing I have turns into a skill card. Okay, Dekaja skill card get.
Begin searching. We're gonna chop them up all at once.
Ah, I can actually make Tamlin, and I need Faith, so not a terrible idea, and I have so much money, so I don't really care about the compendium cost. Yeah, always best to make these group executions during an alarm for the better stats. Tamlin I don't think is required for any kind of strength request, so let's do this. Assault Dive, Brain Shake, Rebellion. Yeah, I'm totally fine with losing that much money.
Skills to inherit.
Yeah, I can take Skillful Combo. Oh, actually, you having Marin Karen is hilarious from a mythology standpoint. I'm gonna take that for that alone. Although, Intense Focus plus Sayo is pretty nice. And Marin Karen.
This should confer some small... Be reborn.
Does this count as making the guillotine unstable? It probably does. Yeah, so Tamlin isn't like, he wasn't originally a fairy, he was a human who like joined the fairy world. I kind of made that mistake earlier. Brain Shake. Brain Shake is a chance of, Brainwash, and I already have Marin Karen. Let's see what it turns into. Resist Shock. Not the best, but not horrible either. I prefer Apt Pupil to Sharp Student, but at least I have the skill card for that now. Yeah, I don't really think I need Resist Shock. Brain Buster, yeah, that's a heavy physical damage to all foes is good. And yes, that does make the guillotine unstable. Oh yeah, Black Frost, we can get him now thanks to the evil Snow Crystal, although, yeah, we can't make you at this point, you're way too high level. Okay, yeah, sometimes randomly the next thing is kind of always going to be an accident, but that's okay since I want an itemization accident anyway, because I haven't shown one of those before, and I'm just really hoping I get that thing that I want to get. Oh, I need Priestess, so I shouldn't sacrifice you to the Dark Gods. No, I should sacrifice, I don't need Hermit. Yes, let's do that.
This will be its new form. Is that acceptable? Now, you shall be reborn.
Yep, okay. Major seizure warning. If you have any kind of epilepsy, please turn away from the video until I say come back. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I kind of wish they'd toned that down in Royal. Now you can come back. I mean, it's sort of funny, but... yeah, it's way too much flashing. Oh my, I actually got it. I've never got that in any other playthrough, and I'm so glad I got it in belt form because... Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave you all in suspense. I'm not going to show that off until the next time we go into the palace, but I will just say... Taunting Aura. Raises own chance of being targeted by foes. This skill is exclusive to accidents. There is no other way to get this skill. You can either get it via a random skill change or an itemization accident. And I don't want to spoil the best thing about it. I'll do that the next time I go into the dungeon, which won't be until about a month because it's not until the next palace. But, oh, wow. I have to save now. I can't believe I actually got that.
I should write something.
Yeah, legitimately, I have done 3 full playthroughs of this game, both original and Royal, and half a New Game Plus of the original. And I have never got that item before. This is my first time ever getting the Alluring Belt. I'm so glad I'll get to show that off. I can't believe this. This is legitimately one of the most obscure details in all of Persona 5. So look forward to that the next time we go to the dungeon. And for now, I'll be leaving. I will be showing just the rundown of all of the targets we beat before we leave though, but in terms of my commentary, this is where we'll end things. And I'll get all the personas I need out of the Velvet Room, and I'll see you next time for some more daily life, and we will be starting the Fortune and Star Confidants. Both of which are pretty good, so look forward to that next time. I'm still in shock that I actually got the Alluring Belt, wow.
Did you change your mind?